The secret garden that was the unit that we did week before last. So we're going to talk about that CFA data. We all gave that same assessment that Ms. Chandler wrote. So does everybody have your team average for what your kids made on that? Okay.
Excuse me.
Mine's 87.7.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Oh man, I thought it was very good.
Yeah, for that particular
Piece.
piece, I think that's
I
very
think
good.
the study guide helped a lot.
Mine is 85.2.
That's good.
Okay, Russell was 87.1.
7.
Oh,
And Chandler, 85.2.
Yes, ma'am.
I have not, I've graded it, but being gone, I have not averaged
Sure.
it. But I'll try to figure today, and let you know. But it
They
was,
look pretty good.
they did look very good. So I guess, would you say most of that was characterization? As far as one thing we were looking at on that
It was for that,
test?
and we haven't done it
A
yet.
lot of characterization type questions? Or?
Characterization and
Thursday, yeah.
was there any specific skills we were looking at in the secret garden? Just did the understanding of like the story elements and
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
I reviewed the story elements with them and just I did character traits as well for the
That's what I was
different,
thinking.
for the different characters, and then just review like the setting and so they know the difference between like the beginning and the middle and end of the story.
Yeah. I need to refresh my memory.
Sure.
The study guide I think made it a lot easier.
Yeah, I added vocabulary words with mine, and so I have two different averages for my test scores with and without the vocabulary, and the vocabulary really brought their grades down. They did really well on the actual story part of the test, but the vocabulary was not, because I gave them 15 vocabulary words, and then I randomly picked 10 out of the 15, and they did, like my overall class average was a 72 with the vocabulary.
Oh.
But then you take the vocabulary out and it's an 85 when it's dealing just with the story elements.
That's good.
So I have to decide which ones I want to, would I want to go ahead and use, if I want to use the vocabulary without, because I know you guys didn't do the vocabulary.
You're the only person that did it.
I did, yeah, I taught them the vocabulary with it.
Well, I can't do everything y'all do, and I've chosen not to do secret garden, not with mine. I don't think that'll be good with mine.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
they can't
Right.
handle it.
So with the scores based on, what you've seen and what we said our averages were, do we think we need to do any kind of remediation with the secret garden stuff, with story elements or anything, or we think we're just good with that? Or I had originally, I have it next on the agenda is cause and effect for remediation, because that was what we had struggled with that's what our scores struggled with the CFA on Sleepy Hollow that was previous to Secret Garden. And we had discussed that a couple weeks ago, and we were planning on doing cause and effect remediation last week, and we had a whole lot of issues with that. And so it got pushed back to this week. So is that okay with everybody to remediate cause and effect tomorrow, which is going back from the data from 2 tests ago from Sleepy Hollow?
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, I still think that needs to be done because my kids did really poorly on that aspect of the test. They did good
As
on the
compared to
sleeping-
the other
as
stuff,
compared
yeah.
to the other stuff. When I
Really
broke
stood
it down, the cause and effect stood out as them, doing pretty poorly on that. So I'd like to remediate that. And I have a PowerPoint that I found that I think I may have emailed it to you already, and I can send it to you,
Okay.
that we can review this week, and then I have a post-assessment form for next week.
Okay.
But next week is
Next week is
a half day.
half day, so
Do you want to try to do it within our classes, or I don't know if that would be worth it?
what I don't have that data on how many kids it would be. That's going to determine that. But we can definitely remediate tomorrow for sure.
yeah.
And then we can make a decision about if we want to. Maybe we could squeeze in remediation Monday next week.
Well, here's an idea. I don't think that the math team is remediating Friday, so would
Maybe we
it be
can have that
too
too.
soon to do remediation Thursday and then post-assessment Friday?
I
Could
don't
we
think
try
so.
that?
If they're not using
If
the time, we'll
yeah,
find out.
I don't think that my math teacher was planning on remediating, so I don't know
Okay.
what Kathy and Chris are planning on doing, but if they're not planning on doing it Friday, maybe we could do it Friday instead.
Okay, I'm going to write
Fresh
that
in their
down.
mind, too.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down tentatively to do a post-assessment on the 14th. And I'll talk to my math person, and you can talk to Kathy, and we'll find out. And if we can't, then we just try to have it done before they leave to go home for Christmas.
Sure.
With however you can get it done, if you can get it done in your class. And you have the post-assessment too that we're gonna use to try to show growth, and then we'll come back and talk about that.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be next, we're gonna try to have that, are we gonna meet next Wednesday? So do you want to try to have cause and effect data by next Wednesday?
Yeah, we can do that.
Is that time okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I figured from our meeting next Wednesday, I figured y'all would take what we talked about and use that half day to plan
Right.
for
Sure.
Second
coming back.
semester.
Yeah. Yeah, and the post-assessment is going to be really short. It's only going to be like, 6, 7 problems for them to be able to identify the cause and effects. It'll be really easy to grade. And I can even go back in and tweak it and make it like a multiple choice or whatever the way I've got it now is they would have to underline the cause and circle the effect. And I think that's where some of mine went wrong because they didn't fully read the directions. Because then when we went back and talked about it, they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I could make it a multiple choice or I could just leave it the way it is. What do you guys, what do you think?
I think with Common Core it needs to be,
It needs to be the way it is? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Sure.
And
What?
I would, was it cause and effect?
Mhm.
I would put one open-ended up there.
Like to give them a cause and have them write an effect? Yeah, we can do that,
Because
certainly.
you have an open-ended on.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, Common Core assessments are gonna be open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Well, now part
Sure.
of it's open-ended and part multiple choice this year.
So
And
maybe
then
do
eventually,
3 and 3 or 3 and 4, 4
Yeah.
and 4.
that would give us
Okay.
some practice.
Does that sound okay?
That sounds good.
Is that good?
What did we remediate since I was gone last week?
We
Did
did.
we remediate something you did not
No.
last week?
No.
Okay.
We canceled
I
it
couldn't
because
remember.
of,
Well,
Yes.
I think you were gone Thursday and Susan was out too, and so
Okay.
we didn't want to put all that pressure on your team.
So,
And
okay.
yeah, so
Thank you.
we just didn't do it.
and then that way we would all be together.
Mhm.
Okay, so is everybody good with all that?
Mhm.
All right. We're gonna go down, number 3, we're gonna come to at the end. So let's go down to number 4. Is everybody good with Gift of the Magi? Today we did irony. Everybody had the video clips on irony, situational, dramatic, and verbal irony. Tomorrow, it's the vocabulary quiz,
Mhm.
and everybody's got that?
Yes. thank
Okay, and then identifying the types of irony within the story is what I'm going to do tomorrow. And so I went ahead and got the tree map ready. That's how I'm going to have my kids do it. I'm going to give them a plain white sheet of paper and have them write examples of irony and give to the Magi, and then classify, like when they find an event that they feel like is ironic, which type would it go under, and then just write a little summary of that event underneath that section.
They would do it individually, in groups.
In groups. Probably like 3, I'm thinking. And they have the story so they can go through and underline, and they could actually go through and underline events that they feel like are ironic, and then go through and put them in the tree map depending on which area they go under.
That's good.
And that fits perfectly with number 3 from Ms. Cole's video that she saw at the principal's meeting, where y'all have done textual evidence, and when they find the irony, justify where they found it and explain it that way. So that's, you're on it from that. So that's what we want to look at.
They could even put the location in the text.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
put page 3,
Paragraph.
paragraph, whatever.
And an inference or whatever it could be.
How did yours do today with teaching them irony?
It blew their mind. But
Yeah.
I try, it's hard, but I really try. I think the videos helped. And
Yeah,
the
videos
videos had like
awesome.
I Love
The
Lucy
first
clip.
video helped my class the most. That second one, they were like, I don't get this, I don't understand it. The one that was just the dialogue, just talking. But the guy that started out on the first video,
Talking about the Alanis Morissette
talking about the
song.
Alanis Morissette song, and then it's so funny because, you know, some of the ones that I didn't, some of the examples that he gave that I didn't think they would identify with, they identified the most with. And so they were like, oh, okay, I've got it. But they got a little confused by the one with like, the bunch about the I Love Lucy clips and all that. They didn't quite get how that was
They don't
irony.
relate.
Yeah, they didn't quite get.
Like we
they didn't
do,
get,
like we
they
do.
didn't get that.
Now,
so
if they understood I Love Lucy,
yeah, and they would have seen how the irony in that. So I just went back to the first video and we just like dissected all of it, everything that he said in the first
Has to
video.
be
I really
something
liked
they
that
like.
one.
That was.
That was a really good one. Yeah.
It took me, the second time I realized he was saying rice.
Mhm.
I couldn't figure that, and just, we talked about, he said, what was it, a pound of rice per person?
Yeah.
How much,
Yeah, I didn't
we
realize
only
what
do
he
a
was
cup
talking
and a
about.
half
I didn't
for a
realize.
family of 4 users, and he's got a whole pound per person, so
Uh-huh.
that was important. Some of them didn't get that.
Well, the one they did like was the Android app at the end where it looked like he had only sold one, but it was actually 1 million.
Yeah.
They got that as irony, so they did understand that part.
We said we didn't like the shut up.
I didn't like it
Part.
because it said shut up.
But
Well,
it was-
yeah, that part they were just. I didn't kind of like that either, but when they realized that it wasn't one, it was 1 million, and he was selling it for $1 a piece, they made the connection with that. So.
Great examples.
So on Friday, we're doing the video from Learn 360 that is actually the Get to the Magi video. It's only like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have them do a double bubble map because our learning target right now is compare and contrast print and non-print version of the same story. So that's going to pull that in. That's going right along with the instructional guide from the county. Also, I want to tie in, if it's okay with you guys, I found a clip on YouTube that's Bert and Ernie Gifted to Magi.
Oh.
And it's
that.
very, it's very juvenile, for lack of a better word. But I also thought that would be another way to bring in the same story, but a different version. So I think I'm going to show that one too. And it'll only be about 8 minutes. It's an 8-minute clip. So, I don't know. How do we feel about, how can we compare 3 things? Because we can't do it in a double bubble. I almost want to do like a tree map. And we're already doing a tree
Yeah,
map.
you could do the tree, or you could,
And have
Maybe
like Bert and
triple.
Ernie, Learn 360 video, and the story.
Yeah.
And have them like categorized
because I was thinking the old Venn diagram.
with 3 circles.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
But they might all get confused.
That's a lot of area.
That's a lot of circles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To the,
You'd almost
Do
need
the
to draw a
tree
full
map.
on.
yeah, so, I'll-
So I'm going to do that Friday.
So Learn 360 Bert and Ernie video.
okay, so double bubble. And
No,
then,
tree.
oh, tree.
Let's do a tree throughout the whole thing. A tree while you're watching the Learn 360 and the Bert and Ernie. Don't y'all think? Just one product.
Yeah, I think that's better than having them do two different maps.
What's
Okay.
the other one called? Learn 360 Bert and Ernie, and the third was
No, the third is just the story.
The story.
oh, the story. I'm sorry.
It's okay. There is a Mickey and Minnie one. Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
One of my kids told me about that. They said they've seen that one.
It's only like a minute long. But
Oh.
I mean, you can show that one too. It's on YouTube.
Is it? Okay.
If you just do like Give to the Magi and Mickey, it'll come up.
It'll come up. Okay.
Speaking of random thoughts that just came to me when you were talking about Mickey and Minnie, I used the scene from Fantasia where the brooms and the water and all that, and when I taught cause and effect. So when you
Yeah.
remediate, you might want to show that video. It
Yes.
worked really good. The sorcerer and all that,
Yeah, it was.
like
Did
Mickey
we show
fell
that?
asleep.
Did we show that
Did you
already?
do that?
I think I
I
did
did.
that already.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You may have shared
Yeah.
it with somebody.
I may have
I
already
think
told
you
you.
did,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. That worked out really good with cause and effect.
Because I had them write a